easier now. It's the nights that still get me. The city fades into the distance as midnight settles in. The world outside grows quiet and the memories begin. I keep myself busy through the daylight, but darkness knows the truth. Some feelings hide all day, only to return at night. Missing you every night, when the stars fill up the sky. Every thought comes back around, when there's no one else around. And every silence in this room feels a little too familiar. I tell myself I've come so far, further than I used to be. But there are moments before sleep when your memory finds me. Not as sharp as it once was, but still impossible to ignore. The heart has a strange way of remembering after midnight. Missing you every night, like a habit I can't leave behind. Every dream I try to chase still carries traces of your face. And every lonely hour I face brings back another page. Maybe I don't miss who we became. Maybe I miss the certainty we had, the feeling that tomorrow was waiting with both of us in it. Some losses aren't about a person, they're about a future that disappears. Missing you every night, but not the way I did before. The sadness doesn't pull me under like it once did anymore. The memories still visit sometimes, yet they no longer stay until dawn. The moon slips beyond the horizon, and I fall asleep knowing tomorrow will be a little easier than today. I wish I could say I'm fine, but that wouldn't be the truth. Your name doesn't come up as often now. The photographs are put away. I've learned how to smile in public and make it through another day. From the outside it looks like healing, but there's more beneath the surface. Some feelings grow quieter without ever leaving. I'm not over you, not as much as I wanna be. Every now and then your memory still finds its way to me, and every part of moving on feels harder when you're still holding on. I don't wait for your messages anymore, or search for you in every crowd. But certain nights bring back the silence and make the missing feel too loud. The heart has a way of remembering what the mind tries to release. Time can teach acceptance, but it can't set the schedule. I'm not over you, though I've tried 1,000 ways to leave the past where it belongs and stop revisiting those days. But some goodbyes take longer than anyone expects. Maybe being over someone isn't a finish line to cross. Maybe it's waking up one day and realizing the hurt no longer feels like loss. Maybe healing happens slowly, one ordinary day at a time. I'm not over you, but I'm closer than before. The memories still have a place without becoming an open door. And though your shadow lingers sometimes, it no longer blocks the light. I'm still healing, still growing, still learning to let go. And that's enough for where I am today. Another sleepless night, another conversation with the past. The room is dark except for the moonlight falling softly through the blinds. I close my eyes to find some peace, but your memory arrives on time. The silence feels heavier tonight than it did yesterday. Some nights the heart remembers what the day tries to forget. Tears on the pillow, falling where your shadow used to be. Every thought of yesterday keeps finding its way back to me. And every dream I try to leave behind returns before the morning light. I tell myself I'm getting better, that time is doing what it should. But healing isn't always straight, and some nights aren't as good. A single memory can undo the strength I found all day. The hardest battles happen quietly when no one else can see. Tears on the pillow, like rain beneath the midnight glow. Every promise we once made feels closer than it should today. And every lonely hour I face still carries traces of your name. I don't miss every part of us or wish to relive every scene. I miss the comfort of believing that forever meant what it seemed. Some heartbreak isn't losing someone, it's losing what you thought would be. Tears on the pillow, but they don't fall the way they used to. The hurt still visits now and breaks me in two. With every passing night I learn someone's can heal without being forgotten. The tears dry slowly as the morning arrives, and I find the strength to begin another day. Some days are easier than others, but I'm still learning. I wake up and reach for the sunlight instead of reaching for the past, trying to fill the empty spaces without asking them to last. The world keeps turning quietly, teaching me how to move again. Healing isn't a moment, it's 1,000 small steps. Trying to heal without you, learning how to make it through. Every day feels a little different, every scar a little less vivid. And though the missing still appears, I'm finding strength beyond the tears. I still have nights that feel too long, and memories that visit uninvited, but they don't stay the way they used to, or leave me feeling divided. What once felt impossible to face now feels a little lighter. The heart doesn't heal by forgetting, it heals by accepting. Trying to heal without you, finding pieces of myself anew. Every lesson left behind is helping me redefine who I am beyond the pain, and who I can become again. I thought healing meant not thinking of you or never feeling hurt again, but maybe healing is remembering without losing myself in it. Maybe it's carrying the story without carrying the weight. Trying to heal without you, and finally seeing progress too. The sadness doesn't lead my days, the memories no longer cloud my way. What we had will always be true, but my future belongs to me now. The road ahead is still unfolding, and for the first time in a long while, I'm ready to follow where it leads. I gave my heart a home and watched it fall apart. You came into my life like sunlight, breaking through the clouds above. For a while everything felt different, like I finally understood love. I never never thought something so beautiful could leave such a deep mark. The higher we flew together, the harder the fall became. The love that broke me left pieces scattered in the rain. Every promise we believed in turned into a different kind of pain. And every dream we built so high fell beneath the silent sky. I spent months chasing answers, looking for where it all went wrong, replaying every conversation long after you were gone, trying to find one moment that could explain it all. But some endings don't have reasons, only consequences. A love that broke me changed the person I used to be. Every tear, every sleepless night became part of my story. And every scar it left behind taught me something about life. For a long time I saw only the damage, the loneliness, the loss, the regret. But healing showed me another truth. Some pain carries lessons with it. Not every broken heart stays broken if it keeps choosing to heal. The love that broke me also helped me find my strength. Though it took away forever, it taught me how to begin again. And every step beyond the hurt brought me closer to myself. The chapter has ended and the tears have dried, but the strength I found from surviving it will remain for the rest of my life. I thought I was prepared for it, but nothing could prepare me. We stood beneath a fading evening sky, with 1,000 unsaid words between us. The silence carried more than conversation. It carried the weight of the end. I watched your eyes drift away from mine before you ever turned around. Some goodbyes happen many times, but only one becomes the last. The last goodbye hurts more than all the others did. It's the moment hope finally disappears and reality settles in, and every promise left behind feels heavier in that final light. I replay that moment often than I want to admit. The way your voice trembled slightly, the way neither of us could stop it. We knew there was no turning back, even if we wanted to. The hardest endings aren't angry, they're the ones filled with sadness. The last goodbye hurts like closing a door you loved. Every dream we built together fades into what it was, and every memory finds a place inside a heart burning to change. For a while I wished for one more chance, one more conversation, one more day. But some chapters only find peace when they're allowed to end. Holding on wouldn't bring us back, it would only keep me there. The last goodbye hurts, but not forever like I feared. The pain grows softer with the years, and the tears become more clear. What remains is not the ending itself, but everything we shared before it. The goodbye still echoes from time to time, but it no longer keeps me from embracing what lies ahead. We didn't realize how much of my world was you until you were gone. Every morning started with your voice, every night ended with your name. You were the reason ordinary days never felt the same. I built my future around your smile without ever questioning why. Some people become a part of your life, you became all of mine. You were my everything, the dream behind every dream, the light I followed through the dark, the rhythm underneath my heart. And when you walked away from me, I lost more than I could see. The places we used to visit still feel different now, like they're waiting for a version of us that won't be coming around. I never thought I'd have to learn how to live without your presence. The hardest part of losing someone is finding yourself again. You were my everything, every hope and every belief, the person I imagined beside me in every chapter yet to be written. And when the story reached its end, I didn't know where to begin. Maybe I loved you too completely, maybe I forgot to keep pieces of myself somewhere along the way. My world became too small, and when you left, it felt like everything left too. You were my everything, but you were not my everything. You were a chapter I'll never forget, but my story is still being written. Could go back, I'd say the things I never said. I let the little moments pass, thinking we'd always have more time. I never thought the last goodbye would arrive without a sign. Now I replay those days alone, wishing I had known. It's hard to move forward when your heart keeps looking back. Heart full of regret for the chances that I missed, for the words I never said, for the goodbye I didn't expect. And every night I wonder let those moments pass me by. I thought there'd be another morning, another chance to make things right, but life doesn't wait forever, and neither does goodbye. Now the silence fills the space where your voice used to stay. The hardest lessons come from things we cannot change anymore. Heart full of regret, holding on to what is left. Every memory comes alive when I close my eyes at night. And every tear I try to hide carries a piece of yesterday. Regret is just love with nowhere left to go, a reminder of what mattered more than I was able to show. If I had one more chance, I'd never leave things unsaid. Heart full of regret, but I'm learning to accept the past is written in the stars, and I can't rewrite those parts. What remains is what I learned, and the love that still burns. The memories stay, but the years move on, and I slowly find peace with the things I can't change. Iceland canting after a while. You always knew the right words to say to make me stay one more day. Every apology sounded sincere, every promise felt so clear. I wanted so badly to believe that things would finally change. Hope can be beautiful until it becomes a reason to stay. Too many broken promises, too many chances gone to waste. Every I'll do better faded away before it could find its place. And every time I trusted again, kept slipping through the cracks. The love was real, I know it was, but love alone couldn't carry us. A promise means nothing if it's never followed through. Too many broken promises left scattered across the years. Every dream we tried to protect slowly disappeared, and every piece of faith I gave became harder to replace. The hardest part wasn't the heartbreak, it was watching my hope fade away, realizing I was holding on to words while the truth stood in front of me every day. Sometimes letting go isn't giving up, it's finally accepting reality. Too many broken promises taught me lessons I couldn't ignore. That trust is built through actions, not the words spoken before. And though the disappointment remains, it no longer keeps me chained. Some promises were never meant to last, but the strength I found from surviving them will. I've moved on in so many ways, but not in all of them. The years have painted different pictures across the life I live today. New faces, new roads, new beginnings, yet some feelings never fade away. I don't search for you anymore, but your memory still finds me. Some names become part of a heart long after the story ends. My heart still calls your name in moments I cannot explain, like an old melody returning when the night begins to fall again. And every memory we left behind still echoes through my mind. I hear your laughter in the distance of a dream I barely understand. I see reflections of our past in places we once planned. Not because I'm living there, but because it mattered. The heart remembers differently than time expects it to. My heart still calls your name across the silence and the years. Every promise, every goodbye still carries traces here, and every chapter since then knows where the story began. of my heart still remembers your name. The years keep moving, the seasons rearrange, yet some memories remain, quietly woven into who we become. We used to say forever, like it could never disappear. We built our dreams on promises and painted futures in the air, certain that no matter what happened, we would always find each other there. Back then, forever felt so close, like something we could touch. No one tells you forever can have an ending too. When forever ends, the world doesn't stop turning, but something deep inside your heart has to start relearning how to live without the life you thought would always be. Photographs still hold the smiles, the memories still hold the light, but they can't bring back the version of us that disappeared into the night. Some stories change without warning, some promises fade with time. The hardest goodbyes are the ones you never imagine having to say. When forever of plans that never happened, and dreams that lost their meaning, trying to understand how forever became goodbye. For a long time I blamed the ending for everything it took from me, until I realized forever wasn't wasted. Just because it didn't last endlessly, what we shared was real, even if it couldn't stay. When forever ends, the love doesn't disappear. It becomes a memory, a lesson, a chapter carried through the years. And though the ending broke my heart, it didn't break who I am. Forever ended, but life went on. And somewhere along the way, I learned that ending wish you could understand. You walked away and closed the chapter like it was easy to leave behind. While I stay with all the questions running circles through my mind. You never saw the nights I spent trying to survive the silence. Some wounds are invisible, but they still hurt the same. I wish you could feel my pain just for one night in the rain. Feel the weight of every memory and the emptiness you left in me. Maybe then you'd understand why it's been so hard to stand. You never saw the tears that fell after everyone went home, or the way I learned to smile while feeling completely alone. I carried the pieces of goodbye long after you let them go. It's hard when the one who caused the hurt never sees the damage done. I wish you could feel my pain, hear the echoes of your name, feel the ache that followed me through every sleepless memory. Maybe then you'd realize some scars don't fade with time. But maybe if you felt this heartbreak, it wouldn't change a thing. The past would still be written and the ending would remain the same. Some answers never come, no matter how much we need them. I wish you could feel my pain, not for revenge or blame, but so you'd know how deeply I loved, how much I gave, how much I lost, and how a heart can keep beating even after it's been broken. You'll never walk these miles inside my shoes, but I've learned that healing doesn't depend on being understood. The ending didn't happen in a moment. It happened little by little. At first it was the quiet spaces growing longer every day. The conversations felt different, like your heart was drifting away. I noticed it before I understood that we were changing. Some goodbyes don't arrive suddenly. They arrive one step at a time. You walked away slowly, long before you left for good. Every smile became a little distant, every I love you misunderstood, and I kept holding on while you were already gone. photographs still showed us smiling, but something had begun to fade. The future we once talked about started slipping through the days. I searched for the version of us that was already disappearing. The hardest part wasn't the ending, it was watching it happen. You walked away slowly, like the tide leaving the shore. Every promise grew a little weaker than it had been before, and every night I tried to believe we could still be safe. I blame myself for far too long, thinking love could change your mind. But hearts don't stay because they're asked to, and feelings can't be left behind. Sometimes people leave in stages before they leave completely. You walked away slowly, but I finally stopped chasing shadows. The pain remained, the memory stayed, yet life kept opening new roads. What broke me wasn't losing you, it was losing us a little every day. The distance started long before goodbye, and accepting that truth was the first step toward healing. You left with your reasons, I stayed with the pieces. The door closed softly behind you, but it sounded louder in my mind, like the ending of a story I never thought I'd leave behind. The room felt unfamiliar the moment you were gone. Some people leave quietly, but their absence speaks for years. Left with a broken heart, standing where we fell apart. Every promise lost its place, every dream faded without a trace, and all the love I couldn't save became a memory I carry. Try to fill the empty spaces with busy days and sleepless nights, pretending I was getting stronger while hiding from the truth inside. The world kept moving forward, but I was still standing still. The hardest part of heartbreak is learning how to live with it. Left with a holding on to what we were. Every laugh, every goodbye still follows me sometimes, and every road I've traveled since knows where the pain began. I used to think this hurt would last forever, that I'd never find myself feelings eventually become part of the past. Left with a broken heart, but not broken beyond repair. The tears have taught me resilience. The loss has taught me care. And though your memory still remains, it no longer defines my days. The pain grows quieter as life moves on, and I finally see that healing was happening all along. We had something beautiful, just not something that lasted. I remember how it started, like sunlight breaking through the rain. Every moment felt effortless, every heartbeat knew your name. Back then, forever felt possible. Back then, we believed. Some loves arrive like a miracle and leave like a season. Love that didn't stay slipped through our hands along the way. Every promise, every dream became softer than it seemed. And though the story faded out, the feeling never disappeared completely. The places where we shared our laughter still exist somewhere in time, like pages from a favorite chapter I revisit in my mind. Not because I want it back, but because it mattered. The hardest part of letting go is knowing it was real. Love that didn't stay still visits on some quiet days. Every memory shines for a while, like sunlight through a window pane. And every lesson that remains speaks louder than the I used to wonder why we ended, why something so beautiful had to change. But maybe not every love story is meant to reach the final page. Some are meant to teach us how deeply a heart can feel. Love that didn't stay gave me more than it took away. The tears, the growth, the memories all became a part of me. And though our roads went separate ways, I'm grateful for the days we shared. Some loves are meant to last forever, and some are meant to be remembered forever. hit. The first days felt impossible. Every moment dragged me down. The silence echoed through my world like I was slowly losing ground. I didn't know how to move ahead without your hand in mine. Some losses change your life before they change your heart. I'm still here without you, breathing through the empty rooms, learning how to face the morning without depending on your light. And every step I've taken since proves I'm stronger than I knew. There were nights I almost called you just to hear a familiar voice. There were days I nearly turned around before remembering there was no choice. The road was harder than I imagined, but I kept walking anyway. Healing didn't arrive all at once, it came one day at a time. I'm still here without you, finding pieces of myself anew. Every scar is slowly changed from a wound into a lesson, and every chapter since goodbye has taught me how to survive. I used to think losing you meant losing the future too, but life kept opening windows where I only saw closed doors. The ending wasn't the end of me, it was the start of something new. I'm still here without you, not the person I was before. The pain has faded into memory, and the fear doesn't lead anymore. What remains is gratitude for how far I've come. The past will always be part of my story, but it no longer decides where my story goes next. I never wanted to leave, but staying was breaking me. We held on long after the light faded, long after the truth became clear, pretending we could save tomorrow while losing ourselves right here. Every conversation felt heavier, every silence said more than words. Sometimes love ends quietly before the goodbye is spoken. A love I had to let go, even when my heart said no. Every memory pulled me back to a road that lost its track, and every step away from you felt like losing part of me too. I kept believing things would change if I loved a little harder each day, but love can't survive on hope alone when one heart has already walked away. I carried us for far too long until choices in life are often the ones made with love. A love I had to let go, a feeling I couldn't outgrow. Every promise we once shared still lingers in the air, and every dream we left behind still visits from time to time. For a while I thought letting go meant admitting defeat, but sometimes letting go is courage when holding on only brings more grief. Not every ending is a failure, some are acts of self-respect. A love I had to let go taught me more than I'll ever know. The pain became a lesson learned, the tears became a page I turned. And though a part of me still remembers, I no longer live in yesterday. The love is gone, but the growth remains, and I carry both the heartbreak and the healing into a brighter day. You see me smiling now, but that's not the whole story. I learned how to hide the cracks beneath the words I choose to say. I learned how to carry heartbreak without letting it show on my face. Everyone thinks I'm doing fine because I stopped talking about it. Some pain is silent, and that's why it's missed. The hurt you don't see lives quietly inside of me. Behind every smile, every I'm okay, there's a part that still aches today. And every time I face the night, I fight battles out of sight. No one hears the conversations I still have with old memories, or sees the weight I carry when the room is finally empty. The strongest people often hide the things that hurt the most. Just because I stop crying doesn't mean the pain disappeared. The hurt you don't see still echoes through my history. Every goodbye left a mark that sometimes wakes up after dark. And every scar beneath my skin tells where I've been. I spent so much time pretending that healing meant feeling nothing at all. But healing is learning to keep going, even when the memories call. Strength isn't the absence of pain, it's choosing to move forward anyway. The hurt you don't see no longer has control of me. The wounds remain, the lessons stay, but they don't define my days. And though some shadows still appear, I've learned not to fear them. The world sees the smile I've learned to wear, but only I know the strength it took to get here.深山间 don't miss you now. I miss who we were then. I remember the way you look at me, like I was all you needed to see. The smallest moments felt like magic, back when love came naturally. We didn't have to try so hard to hold on to what we had. Some memories stay beautiful because they belong to another time. When you loved me before the distance found our door, before the silence filled the space and slowly took your place. I felt like I belonged somewhere. When you loved me before, the photographs still tell the story of two hearts that believed that forever was waiting ahead and nothing would ever leave. We were young inside that feeling, certain it would never change. The hardest thing about memories is knowing they can't come back. When you loved me before, the world felt warmer than before. Every late night conversation felt like a promise in motion. When you loved me before, I don't wish to turn back time or undo what life became. I only visit those memories to remember how love felt then. Not every chapter lasts forever, but some chapters stay with us. When you loved me before, the feeling still echoes softly, though the years have carried us away and changed so many things. The love may belong to yesterday, but the gratitude remains today. The memory fades gently into the night, leaving behind a warmth that time could never completely erase. Everything changed the moment you walked away. I remember standing in the silence after your footsteps disappeared. The room felt bigger than before, filled with everything I feared. The air was heavy with goodbye and words we never got to say. Some endings happen in a second but last for years. When you closed the door, you took a part of me with you. Every dream we built together became something I couldn't hold. that followed after felt colder than before. I kept expecting to hear your voice calling from the other room, like somehow this was just a moment and not the end of me and you. But reality settled in slowly, like winter finding its way in. The hardest part wasn't losing you, it was accepting you were gone. When you closed the door, the world kept moving without pause, while I was left collecting pieces of a heart that couldn't understand the loss. And every memory became a place I visited alone. For a long time I stayed in that moment, replaying it again and again, wondering if one different sentence could have changed how it would end. But some goodbyes arrive already decided, long before they are spoken. When you closed the door, you ended one chapter of my life, but you didn't take my future or my ability to survive. The pain stayed longer than I wanted, but it didn't stay forever. The door is closed, the story is over, and I finally found the courage to keep walking forward.